The moment I stepped into that courtroom and spotted 3 HOA board members, bawling like kids who'd just been told Santa was fake, I knew the day of reckoning had arrived. The county judge, a no-sense woman with a glare that could strip paint, read their sentences with the kind of satisfaction you see only when someone's been waiting years to crush arrogant pests. 18 months in federal prison for wire fraud, 12 months for criminal trespass, and my personal favorite 1,000 hours of community service, specifically scraping gum off courthouse benches. Their crime? Trying to shake me down for $70,000 in bogus back dues on a cabin they had zero jurisdiction over? The ringleader, Patricia Garrison, picked the wrong target. She didn't know I was Thomas Mitchell, ex-military prosecutor with 15 years of experience putting away people far meaner than suburban HOA despots. Let's rewind. I'd inherited my grandfather's cabin in Pine Valley, HOA, quiet patch of woods 45 minutes outside the city. I wanted trout fishing, slow weekends, smoking ribs, and yelling at deer, stealing my tomatoes. Pine Valley Hollow had 3 claims to fame: great fishing, occasional bear sightings, Ankey detail, no HOA. 2 miles away sat Riverside Heights, cookie-cutter suburb where lawns were ruler, measured, and the HOA president Patricia once. Find a kid's lemonade stand for improper signage. Patricia had just talked her board into hiring a collections agency and was pushing something called boundary expansion. First red flag. Then one Tuesday, I opened my mailbox to find a certified letter from Riverside Heights HOA, odd, since I didn't live there. Inside, an invoice for $7,346.13, supposedly 5 years' worth of back dues, late fees, and mandatory cabin integration charges. They claimed my property had been annexed into their territory. I laughed, slapped a sticky note on it. Wrong jurisdiction. Try again, and mailed it back. Patricia didn't take it well. Within a week, she'd somehow slapped a lien on my truck. Then a squad of HOA volunteers in matching polos posted violation notices on every tree I owned, everything from improper fence height to unauthorized bird feeders. I burned them in my barrel. Patricia called the sheriff to report destruction of official legal documents. The deputy took one look, shook his head, and left. She wasn't done. She started telling people Pine Valley Hollow was in a community merger transition period and under Greater Riverside Heights control. She even used Microsoft Paint to redraw boundaries, laminating these fake maps and handing them out like they were gospel. Things hit peak insanity when she sued me in small claims court for the full $70,000, attaching her homemade maps and a packet of fabricated bylaws claiming retroactive authority over anything within 5 miles. She even circled my garden gnomes and hammock in photos as violations. I arrived in court in my best suit, carrying a binder labeled Federal and State Property Law Volume 1, in giant letters, plus Volumes 2 to 4 for show. Patricia and her sidekicks, Sandra Clean and Robert Donnelly, walked in looking smug. They expected to win. I calmly presented county records proving my property had never been under HOA authority. I displayed official assessors, maps, and pointed out Patricia's paint toolbar in one of her evidence screenshots. Then I laid out the crimes: wire fraud, mail fraud, trespass, falsifying documents, and extortion. I handed the judge a flash drive labeled Exhibits AZ, dumb stuff they did, including security footage, threatening emails, phone calls, and Patricia's own video bragging about conquering ungoverned territories. Halfway through, a clip of her shouting, "We own all the trees now." The judge stopped, rubbed her temples, and asked if anyone had called the DA. Patricia's smirk vanished. The judge referred the case for criminal prosecution on the spot. The investigation wrecked them. They found Patricia had been backdating invoices, forging maps, lying under oath, paying off her taxes with HOA funds, and running a fake collections agency through her cousin Derek's garage. Sandra and Robert had signed every fraudulent document. Derek had mailed threats to dozens of owners. Charges rained down: wire fraud, mail fraud, trespass, filing false documents, conspiracy, extortion. Derek got extra counts for running a sham business. The trial was almost boring compared to the buildup. Patricia tried to argue the spirit of HOA governance outweighed property lines. The judge's gavel hit so hard a bailiff checked it. For cracks, it testified for 27 minutes, citing every statute they'd broken and showing how they'd targeted dozens of owners too scared to fight. Patricia cried. Sandra went pale. Robert stared at the floor. Derek tried to run during recess, but got tackled in the parking lot. The verdict: guilty on all counts. HOA dissolved, assets frozen, my legal fees reimbursed, lien erased. Patricia, 18 months for wire fraud, plus 12 months concurrent. Sandra and Robert, 12 months each, plus 5 years probation. Derek, 6 months, $50,000 fine. And the Peace D. Resistance. Patricia ordered to spend 1,000 hours scraping gum and cleaning public restrooms. Her face, when the judge read that, was a masterpiece, crying. Shock, rage in 3 seconds flat. As they cuffed her, she screamed, "This isn't over," which, ironically, made sure it was.